Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly Pick a Card Tarot readings for the week of May 29th. If you're new here, my name is Sydney, I'm the tarot guy next door, and I use my occult knowledge and intuition to help guide you towards the life you want. I'll be doing 5 card open readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the Universal Rider-Waite-Smith with Red Jasper, the Tarot de Marseille with Lapis Lazuli, and the Tarot of the Divine with Green Aventurin. We also have 4 different Oracle cards to choose from 4 different decks. So go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which oracle card resonate with you the most. It's totally fine if you're drawn to more than one, and you can pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump straight to your reading, you'll find timestamps right below. And with that, let's go right to the readings. Alright, group 1, let's see what we have for you for this week. You know the deal. I'm going to throw down all 5 cards. This is weirdly optimistic despite all the reverse cards, I'll say that much. Oh yeah, with the 10 of coins upright at the bottom of your deck, let me just make sure that this is a good reminder. I read cards basically the same way, whether they're upright or reverse. It's just the fact that they're reversed that is an extra data point. I will see you right now. Group 1, there honestly isn't much to say about your reading. Normally, I keep harping on this fact that a theme that comes up a lot in these readings when I do tarot, and also when I watch other tarot readers, is the famous be patient, which is kind of a meme at this point for me anyway. And I see this week for you as basically coming to terms with the fact that things that you want might not happen as quickly as you'd like. And I see the thing that leapt out to me is these 2 kings here, which I'm really seeing as mirror images of the same person, kind of like someone realizing that their plan might take longer than they want and actually rising above the emotional annoyance that often comes when we are told to be patient over and over again, or when we are told, hey, this process takes time and all that stuff. I really see this as a week for you to come to terms with all that. Just before I unpaused, I thought of, the 7 stages of grief, and the final stage is acceptance. I see this as something like that for you. And despite all the chaos, I think the best way to rise above this chaos is to not let it drag you down by getting in control of your emotions. So this is looking like a really good week for you, regardless. Despite all of that, But honestly, I don't have much else to say without looping, so I think I'm just going to end it there. Thank you very much for trusting me with your reading. You can use the timestamps below to jump to your Oracle card reading. I'll see you there. All right, group 2, let's see what we have for you for this week. Ooh. The Ace of Swords is my favorite ace in this deck, and the King of Swords. The King of Swords has come up for me a lot recently when I've been using this deck. It's very funny for me to see him right now, especially knowing that as of me recording this right now, this is going to come out in like 3 weeks. Anyway, sorry, enough rambling. And all of this with a slightly crooked spread. Let me fix that for you and actually read these cards. Group 2, slight correction on the tangent that I went on. Today is May 13th as I'm recording this, so I'm 2 weeks ahead of you. But regardless of anything, this is looking like a really good week for you. It's looking like a breakthrough week. I thought of that word a lot while I was staring at these cards. And it's looking like, you know how longtime viewers of this channel might have heard me talk about how it's by taking the steps towards where you want to go that you can kind of figure out how to adjust and make those adjustments. I have the feeling the notion of gradual repetitive work is coming through with Trump number 13 here. And I see this as the vibe that I'm getting is one of, through making those iterations, through laboring at your craft, at what you want to do, that the aha moment finally comes to you and you realize how you fit into what you want to do. That's kind of the vibe here. The Six of Cups and Five of Swords are also supporting this, but explaining how I think would be too long right now. One thing is for sure that the moon here at the bottom of your deck is a reminder that an invitation to keep trucking, to keep up with the back-breaking transformative labor, even if you can't see the aha moment. It's basically a nod to the fact that despite how confusing things might look for you now, that it's looking like through the work you will get the clarity. So keep on trucking. It's looking like whatever you're doing is something that you are well suited to, and it's looking like a week for you to figure out specifically how. So this is really good news for you. I'm excited and happy for you. Thank you very much for trusting me with your reading. You can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. All right, group 3, let's see what we have for you for this week. I have a funny feeling about this top card. I don't know why. And it's the Page of Coins. Ah, my favorite court card. Ooh, Judgment. That's the 5 of coins? Yes, 5. No, 4 of coins. Jesus. 4 of coins. The 3 and the 6 of swords. All upright, including the bottom of the deck. This is looking really good, group 3. Give me a second here. Is this well framed for you? Good enough. It's a little crooked, but bear with me. Group 3, this is looking like a pretty pivotal week for you. A concept that came through while I was staring at these cards is, you know, sometimes things that are actually trying to help you can come off as annoying. And this is looking like a week where it's looking like a week where you're going to realize that this thing that's been annoying you this whole time has actually been trying to help you, or has actively been helping you this whole time. What gave me this impression is this 3 of coins here. I don't know what specific myth this is. The concept behind the Tarot of the Divine is that all these cards are specific myths from like all over the world and shit. So I don't know what specific myth this is, but one thing that drew my eye is the fact that these guys in the background here, they're either demons or they're people wearing demon masks or whatever. That's what they look like to me, with this like festive celebration here. So that is what is giving me the vibe that for this week, figuring out that the friction, that thorn in your side has actually been, was a misconception this whole time. And that after this realization, you can finally unlock the floodgates, so to speak, which is really apparent in the Six of Swords and Judgment card. And by the way, I just want to mention this. I forget the name, but the Judgment card in this deck is that monkey god. Kind of a huge deal in Chinese lore. He's like immortal many times over, always playing pranks and drunk and shit. Just wanted to mention that. The magician is Cinderella, pretty clearly. Anyway, enough about the deck and back to the reading here. I think that the aha moment symbolized by this Judgment card is what can help you shift your perspective and realize that these demons have actually been trying to protect you, which is what I'm getting from the 4 of coins here. So yeah, honestly, all in all, it's looking like a great week for you. Although it might start out annoying. You know, I was just reminded of this concept. You know, when your first impression of someone is wrong, let's say my first impression of someone is negative, and then I learn something about them later which flips me, my positive impression of them will then be more positive than it would have been had my first impression of them been positive. You get what I mean? Same thing for negative impressions. So if you figure out that someone that you like has been like a really horrible person this whole time, then your impression of them is even more negative than it would have been had you known from the beginning. Anyway, it's looking like a week like that for you, but in the good way. So you know, enjoy it. Yeah, that was a mic drop right there. So. Thank you for joining me. If you don't want to watch me pick up your reading, you can use the timestamps to jump ahead a couple seconds. All right, let's see if we can get this on the first try. This actually looks pretty good, so I'm just going to call it like that. All right, Group A, your card is Transition. This is a very interesting card to pick. The funny thing is, this fits really, really well. This fits so well with all three readings that I gave. I might just end up reading the text and then moving on. But let's see. Let's start by reading the text. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. Do I have anything else to add? I'm just looking at the three readings I gave real quick. No, I think enjoy the process, and if you don't, just take it as a lesson. But it's looking like a transitory week for you, Group A. Group B, do we finally have a full moon in Sagittarius? Let's go. Gibbous moon, you're very close to achieving your goal. Are you kidding me? This is pretty odd. Let me just remind you that sometimes when we're closest to the goal is when we can run into the biggest frustration. And also sometimes when you're on the verge of a breakthrough, that's when all your deepest insecurities flare up to try to keep you where you're at, you know? So just keep that in mind for this week. And for... I'll just call it out. Group 1B, this might on the surface seem like a contradiction with the reading that I gave, but I'll just remind you of a saying that I try to keep in mind all the time. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So instead, if you want to go fast, go slow, because that'll be smooth. All right. Group C, for longtime viewers of this channel, if this is the full moon in Sagittarius, this does not count towards what I try to do with this deck. But let's see what your card is. It is the new moon in Gemini. Think it through. Honestly, this is one of the things that I like about this deck. Often the phrase that is under here is such a well-designed phrase that it's difficult for me to add anything to it. Part of what I like so much about this deck, I honestly prefer it a little to the original Moonology, but let's not get distracted. This is an invitation to really think twice before you act, cross your T's, dot your I's, and you know, you can treat this week as an extended Mercury retrograde, for lack of a better phrase, in the good sense, not the annoying sense. All right, Group D, your angel is Hasmed, Angel of Annihilation. This is going to take some staring. All right, let me look at this. Group D. It's difficult for me to convey how this card is positive without sounding scary. So just brace for some scary sounding words. But I see a lot of optimism in this. The key question is, what are you willing to give up? The funny thing is, when I was staring at this card, and I'll leave it a little closer to the camera for you while I rant at this. When I was staring at this card, the litany against fear in Dune came to mind, and the phrase "fear is that tiny little death that brings total obliteration." But if you confront your fear and let it pass through you, that's where you can figure out who you really are. I'm summarizing the litany of fear, but those of you who know I think you would agree that's a fair summary. So for you, Group D, the question is, getting to where you want to go might come at an expense that might sound high, but you know, if you want to get to where you want to go, figure out the price and then pay it. Or you can choose not to pay it. However, the thing to keep in mind is that what you might be invited to let go of is a way of interacting with the world that you're so used to that it's almost become part of your identity. So yeah, this is a heavy card, but I think that if you can process and use the lessons of this, this might be a week that you will look back at in fondness years from now, potentially. Wow, that was a heavy mic drop. I think I'm going to end that there. Thank you so much for watching this. If you like this video, if your reading resonated with you in any way, even if it was fear, please give this video a like. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching. This is looking like a great week for everyone. Y'all take care. I'll see you soon.